It's lunchtime, Humber College. In honor of our Healthy You campaign, we, the creators at Life at Humber, are sitting down to talk about mental wellness, finding balance, and dating in the pandemic.
I'm doing good. I'm doing quite well.
Is that actually true?
I don't believe you for a second. Bro, how are you doing?
I'm good. I actually feel good. I
Like,
think
genuinely?
yeah, because the semester's wrapped up, all this final project.
How did you feel 2 weeks ago?
No, that's a
Not
different
good.
question. That is a different question.
two different people.
So I think I was 100%. I've been 100% online for like the last 2 years since COVID started.
Oh wow. In the online period, like things were
was
cut
a
short. It
mess.
was so abrupt. It was like we all didn't really know what was going on.
I remember it specifically. It was like the Thursday. I think it was Thursday night, and the first university was like, we're sending everyone home.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, we realized like everyone. And by like Friday afternoon, Humber had announced like, I think they gave us until Monday to move home. So it was like, I remember like, this is probably an overshare, but I remember the drive home just like bawling and like being so upset because it's like I was living my best life, living with my best friend, all of a sudden moving like 2.5 hours back home, away from like everyone I knew.
Yeah. Just thinking about how the pandemic has affected like students as like a category, it's just so mind blowing. Like
Yeah. There's no balance between home and work. Because before, like, you would leave your house to go to school. After school, you would come back.
Yeah.
You're done.
there's a separation.
Yeah, there's a separation, so your
Yeah.
brain can like calm down. But then, like, after in that one semester, in my bedroom, I couldn't like
Oh yeah.
fully like relax. I'm like, I'm not in my safe space. I'm also in my class space.
Yes.
There's-
People always think that boundaries are like a sign of like weakness, that like you don't
No.
want to do this thing, or like you don't you just don't want to entertain that thing. But like boundaries are a sign of strength.
The biggest
like
sign.
It's
to be
hard.
able to like set a line for yourself and say like, no, I'm not
Not comfortable.
going
That's
past this
hard.
line.
Yeah.
Like it's a strong thing to do. It's not an
Absolutely.
easy thing to do.
Speaking of mental messes and health, how would you rate your health from the scale of 1 to 10 overall? Mental, physical,
Today.
today. Okay, let's just do today for now.
I love this question because I feel like this is something that gets asked in like counseling.
Yeah, it's like on a scale of
Whenever
1
they
to
ask,
10.
like, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you today, Ravel?
I appreciate that you mentioned like being at a certain number and then maybe going down to a different number, because like it's so important to recognize that progress isn't linear,
Yeah, it's
and like there's no like one way to like be on track with your health.
yeah.
It's totally okay that like you might be feeling better one point of time in the semester
Yeah.
than another, because that's what being human is, I guess.
That's just life, really.
Yeah, people always think like, you know, if I want to really do this thing, and then like whether it's they want to improve like some part of their mental health, and they think like, oh, today I feel really down. It's undoing like all of the work, and like everything's going backwards. And you're so right that thinking is like so bad in a way, because it's not true. Like all of those things continue to go forward. There is only one way, like all the time. You're always like going forward, and all of that stuff that happens, it happens like just for different reasons, but it's
Yeah.
never because like you're somehow going backwards or
Yeah.
falling back into things. It's
Yeah.
always like progressing in a different way.
Self-care, for me at least, like the main lesson I've really taken for my health is just care of, like, there's like a balance between like being selfless and being selfish. You have to like be right in the middle. And then even sometimes it's little things. For example, like, oh, before I used to dress in the most unassuming, simple way just so I wouldn't offend someone.
Yeah.
But now I care a lot less. Sometimes I wear pins on my clothes. Sometimes I have little dogs in places. When something's so harmless, but it's gonna make you happy in some way, just do it, because it's like it's not hurting anyone. It's not hurting you. And so I feel like everyone takes life too seriously, and sometimes you just need to be like, just like calm down. We're all here. We're all chilling.
It's important to like talk about some of your feelings, because I don't think a lot of people like process them or come to like realizations until they say it out loud. And it feels like just good to get things off your chest and talk to someone about it, and like kind of know you're not kind of alone in those thoughts. And then I think it's also good for like other people, like our audience, to like other students who can like sympathize with us and like understand, are having the same kind of feelings with us, knowing that we're kind of all in like the same boat, which is, it's just like makes you feel better, especially if you're at a low point and like you know other people have been there, you just don't feel so lonely, and like, you know, you're not kind of in this alone.
Just like having genuine human connection is just like comforting to watch. If you go out of your way to have these conversations like that, conversations like this in the future are just going to be that much easier. They're just going to be that much more like innate to you. You're going to know like actually how you feel, actually what you want to say, what you want to tell people.
Sometimes like I said, like we just kind of go out there and we work and we have our friends and we have like our hobbies and that's it, and like that's our world. And sometimes it's just like we ever get time to like ask ourselves, like, you know,
are you good?
Are you okay?
You
Like,
just have a break sometimes. Hit pause.
And opening that dialogue with yourself, I think is such a key thing too, because to be able to be honest with yourself about how you feel, about setting up boundaries for yourself with work or whatever sort of thing, it allows you to approach things that you've been like putting off or not been noticing, and your health it's like 100%, it's in your hands when you're able to have that dialogue.
These conversations are so emotionally draining for me.
Yeah,
I get so emotionally drained
I'm
so
just
quickly.
oh my god.
Okay, the fun stuff.
No, fun. That's something fun.
I can talk about dating during the pandemic.
We all became eaters.
Right.
That's been, it's the thing is like you can't meet anyone like naturally with like the way of the pandemic. No one's like going out and like like doing that sort of thing like with a bar. So you use the apps.
I recently got out of a long-term relationship and like have been on dating apps again, and I like some of the stuff you see, like
It's
I can't
horrendous.
I can't believe there's like people walking the earth like
that are like
I can't. It's crazy to me. But yeah, it definitely changed like dating.
It's repulsive. Okay, so like at first I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this, and then after maybe 2 weeks, I just like I don't need this. I don't want this anymore.
No,
It's important to make these connections human to human, have genuine conversations, but online dating just like, strips that. Like it's really like superficial.
Unless you're on Club Penguin.
Those
are the realist relationships.
Farmersonly.com.
Okay, no, literally.
That's a real one.
I had my first relationship when I was 12 years old was on Club Penguin.
Your first lasted 2 days
because it was Club Penguin. There's nothing wrong with having a little like whatever, but you can't be leading people on and then
Does anyone know what we're talking about right now?
No, we are PG-13. We're talking about having picnics.
Yeah. No, that's.
I wish I did more picnics. Sorry.
No, okay, no, we talk about that. I've had like one picnic in my whole life. I feel like I need to do more. We need to sit on
so many people did it throughout the pandemic, and I feel like I missed my chance.
I don't think I would like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Alright, it's been real. Bye, Humber.
Thank you so much.
We hope you felt a part of our conversation today. Know that you're not alone. And we invite you to tune into our next lunch talk where we're going to discuss our financial health and how we're saving money this summer.